Don't do that. Don't chew the seeds. Welcome and welcome back to Plant-Based Palates. I'm Fiamma Jean, your resident plant-based foodie. I have a treat for you today. Foodie fam, I went to 5 different stores in 3 different cities on a hunt for international fruits from around the world. I guess that's kind of redundant, right? If it's international, it's around the world. You know what I mean. Today, I'm going to do a taste test of fruits from around the world. We have 17 different fruits today. I love fruit, and I don't know about you, but I stick to the same fruit all the time. I want us to broaden our fruit horizons. Okay, starting from the left to the right, I'm going to name all of the fruits. It actually might be your right to the left, whatever. I'm gonna start right here and go this way. All right, here we have guava, Cape gooseberries, Guineps, lychee nuts, Kiwano Horned Melon, Quince, a Starfruit, Melon Pepino, golden kiwi, a Rambutan or Rambutan. Am I saying that right? Tell me in the comments. A Dragonfruit, a Pomegranate, passion fruit, Korean pear, Soursop, and Formosa Papaya. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right in. And if I'm being honest, I don't exactly know how to eat all of the fruits. I'm gonna have to do a bit of research. Let's start with the guava. I've had guava juice and guava mixed drinks, but I've never actually eaten a guava before. So I'm gonna have to go to Google on this one. How do you eat a guava? Apparently you can just eat the guava, so I'm gonna take a bite. It's very good. And I was caught off guard a little bit because there are seeds. But according to the internet, you can eat the seeds for full flavor. Don't do that. Don't chew the seeds. They're very hard. Don't chew the seeds. It has the texture of like a pear. Let me see that. Very good. The seeds are very small, smaller than even apple seeds. Got the seeds stuck in my teeth though. I'm gonna wash the taste out of my mouth so we can move on to the next one with no interference. Okay, how do you eat Cape gooseberries? Turns out you can eat a Cape gooseberry raw, so let's dive in. Oh, they're very cute. They look like grape tomatoes. They hit you back there. Very tangy. They remind me of like a cranberry. Gosh, they're very tart. Super juicy though. They have little seeds too. They are sour. I'm into it, but dang, those are sour. I want to prepare y'all just in case you try some of the Cape gooseberries. Imagine eating like a Sour Patch Kid and you get that first kick and then it kind of like becomes a little more mild. This doesn't become more mild. Let's move on to the Guineps. I know how to eat these because they're grown in Jamaica and I spent a lot of my childhood and summers and Christmas breaks in Jamaica all throughout my school years. And this was one of my favorite fruits. Man. So this has one big seed. It's like a small little pit. It has an outer green shell that you either crack with your teeth or your nails. So good. They're mildly tart with a slight sweetness to it. And there's nothing I can really compare it to in the United States. But from what I understand, we have a few more fruits today that actually taste just like a Guinep, supposedly. So I'll let you know. Next up, we have a lychee nut. And I definitely don't know how to eat this one either. How to eat a lychee nut. The first thing that comes up is an article from CNN, fruits and veggies that could poison you. Bruh. Okay, so you have to peel the lychee to get to the flesh inside. And the instructions, Google, says to grab it by the stem, pierce with your nail. Ooh, it does look a little like a Guinea. It's just like the Guinep in texture, but a completely different taste. It's more fragrant. Almost tastes a little perfumey. I don't know if I like that one. It's not my favorite. Next, we have the Kiwano Horned Melon. How to eat Kiwano Horned Melon fruit. Okay. Ooh, oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. We have to scoop the fruit out. I got a lot of it out. Let's give it a taste, shall we? It reminds me of something and I can't for the life of me figure out what it is. The insides are slurpable. Take a look. The seeds are like lemon seeds. I really like this. It reminds me a little bit of Jell-O, but not really. And no, I don't eat Jell-O anymore, but I have had Jell-O before becoming vegan. I like that. I like that a lot. It's very tangy, super liquidy. If you're familiar with other melons, this is not that. It doesn't taste like a cantaloupe or a honeydew or a watermelon. This is a very unique flavor that I'm not necessarily sure I've had before. Kind of slimy, but very good. The flavors are really unique. Definitely gonna finish the rest of this. Very good. Okay. On to the quince. Let's do it. Well, after a bit of Google research, turns out quinces are not eaten raw. They're typically cooked. So, won't be eating this one today, but I'm inspired to find a recipe and cook with it. Be on the lookout for that video. Gotta move on to the next one. Up next is the Starfruit. For those that have not tried it, it's called the Starfruit because when you slice it, it actually is in the shape of a star. And while you don't have to cut the Starfruit to eat it, it's just pretty. How cute is that? All right. All of the fruit that I've gotten so far is very tangy, including the Starfruit. It's really juicy and it's crisp and crunchy right now. Very good. You hear that crunch? The Starfruit that I got today has little to no sweetness. Really, really tangy. Starfruits to me have such a distinct flavor. If you're making like a fruit basket, these are always really cute to include specifically because of their shape. All right, let's move on. Next up is the Pepino melon. So you're supposed to cut it in half. Has an interesting smell. You're supposed to scoop out the seeds. I feel like I'm taking all the fruit out. Hopefully the seeds aren't poisonous because I'm gonna wow, it's a very unique flavor as well. It says to cut away the skin. I want to try some of the skin too. All right. The skin doesn't want to be tried. That's fine, all is well. It's the texture of a very ripe pear. Has a little bit of a taste reminiscent of an apple, but it's not sweet. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. One thing you'll learn about me, I try things multiple times to make sure I actually don't like them. Fairly certain I don't like that one. I'm gonna pass. Have you ever tried a Pepino melon? What was your experience like? Let me know down in the comments. Which one should we try next? Ooh, the golden kiwi. I love kiwis, but I don't eat them nearly enough. Ooh, this is pretty. A golden kiwi looks a little different than a green kiwi. Let's give it a go. Ooh, slippery little bugger. Name that movie. This is good. Wow, it's the texture of a green kiwi, but much sweeter. Wow, let's have another. Oh my goodness. I may have a new favorite fruit. Okay, let me chill because we have plenty of other fruits to try. But I'm gonna come back to that because that is good. I'm so glad I bought so many of those. I bought a whole case of them. It's about to go down. For real this time. Let's move on. Let's get into this passion fruit because I've had passion fruit everything that you can imagine, but have never actually eaten the fruit. The rind of a passion fruit is not edible. So once you cut it open, you scoop out the seeds and the pulp. Dang! I mean, I have muscles. I consider myself to be fairly strong. This is difficult to, oh, okay. Once you get through the first layer of the rind, it's not so difficult. That smells so good. Oh my God. I wish YouTube had like sharing smell capability because this, man. So I'm just gonna scoop it on out of there. Oh my God, that is very, very sour. I'm talking like lemon head, warhead sour. Wow. But what I'm learning about myself is I really enjoy sour things. So we gonna run that back. You can just eat the pulp or eat the seeds. I love the crunch of the seed. I got about 4 scoops from one side. This is a lot of rind for there to be so little fruit. Let's move on to the Rambutan. This one's really interesting because it is very unique in texture on the outside. It reminds me a little bit of a strawberry. If you think of a strawberry and the outside as like a 5 o'clock shadow, this bad boy is a full-grown beard. So apparently you slice through the outer area, you twist it, okay. This is very much like a Guinep and a Lychee Nut. It smells more like lychee. It's like a more fleshy Guinep. It's not as tart as a Guinep and it's not as sweet as a Lychee Nut. It's like smack dab in the middle of both. Huh, I can peel the flesh off of this one, where a Guinep, you have to like suck all the fruit off. This one, I can just peel off. I only got 3 of those, thinking I wouldn't enjoy them. I like that a lot. Very good. All right, on to the dragon fruit. How do you eat a dragon fruit? You just cut it off. Ooh, how pretty is that? Holy. Apparently, you eat it by just cutting it into cubes, seeds and all. You don't gotta tell me twice. Very earthy. It reminds me of a beet. Very earthy. When people say things are earthy, that's just another way to say it tastes like dirt. I'm gonna try it again. Love that. That's very, very interesting. It has the texture of a fruit, but the taste of a vegetable. Tastes like beets. How many of you out there have had a pomegranate before? I love me a good pomegranate, especially some pomegranate juice. Yo, these fruits are really testing my strength today. Come on now. How many of you all knew you could eat pomegranate seeds? Up until about 5 years ago, I would get all the pulp off the pomegranate and then just spit the seeds out like they were sunflower shells. For those that have never had a pomegranate, to me they're like mini green grapes. Not in color, but kind of in the taste. I typically like to scoop them out. I won't do it right now because it's gonna make a little bit of a mess, and pomegranates are really juicy and their juice is really difficult to get out of clothes and off of white, so I won't. But you can just pull this apart and pop them by the handful. I would say the flavor of a pomegranate is a mix between cranberry and like a grape, but it stains everything, so be careful. Next up, the Korean pear. The Korean pear can be eaten just like an apple or a pear. The Korean pear tastes very much like a pear. A little less sweet, which I like. Kind of grainy and sandy in texture, just like a pear, but still tastes a little different. Not better, not worse, just different. Let's move on to the fruit that I've been waiting for us to try. It is the soursop. Let's not waste any more time. Just like many of the other fruits that we tried today, a soursop has to be cut and the fruit scooped out. I may need to get a better knife because this knife has been betraying me this whole time. No, all right, let's do it. This smells so good and it reminds me so much of Jamaica. It's very fleshy. Slightly sour. The name is soursop, with a seed that's enveloped in the flesh that you eat. You don't eat the seed of this one. I absolutely love soursop. I've never had anything that tastes like a soursop. I drove all over looking for this fruit. If you want to know where I got it, let me know. I'll tell you. I haven't had a soursop since I was a little girl. Best believe I'm gonna tear that whole thing up tonight. We have one more fruit to try. It is the Formosa Papaya. I've had papayas before. I've yet to have a Formosa Papaya. This is new for me. If you've never had a papaya before, you slice it in half. I have not had a papaya in a really long time, and when I was younger, I did not like them. So I'm excited to see if my feelings have changed at all. See, this is why I try things 3 or 4 times before I say I don't like them. As you get older, your taste buds change, they mature. You start to like things you didn't know you liked. In fact, up until I was about 12 years old, I didn't really like chocolate. I love chocolate now. Vegan chocolate, that is. I say all that to say, it's bomb. It's like a cantaloupe, but milder. Wow, this is tasty. Of all the fruits that I tried today, I have to say, my favorite was the golden kiwi. It was phenomenal. The golden kiwi is really special. I also love the Guineps and the soursop, but I'm biased. I'd have to say that the dragon fruit was my least favorite. The texture was great, but it tasted like a vegetable, which would be fine if that's what I was expecting, but not really my jam. I see a lot of papaya bowl recipes, which is dragon fruit, so I'm going to freeze it and try and make my own homemade papaya bowl to see how that turns out. I hope you learned something new about one of the international fruits that we tried today. Which one's the most intriguing to you? Let me know down in the comments. Trying new vegan foods from around the world is one of my favorite things to do. Be sure to check out one of my other videos where we're exploring vegan food around the world. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really helps the channel out. Until next time, friends.